Peace, y'all. Peace. This is Ashantola, the Enchantress, trying to find good lighting. I think this is a little bit better, so I'll shift my position. Peace, peace, peace. This is Ashantola, the Enchantress, and I'm just going to invite a couple people in um, that can come on maybe and talk to me for a little while. Um, just give me 1 second. Peace. There we go. I just want to tag a couple people in. Peace, y'all. Peace. This is Ashantola, the Enchantress, and I was coming on today because I am rested. I feel so much better. Thank you so much for asking. Peace, Carol. I know. Okay, so let me just get this out right off gate. All my students are getting ready to start hounding me about what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm supposed to be resting. But I feel so much better today, and I wanted to do this video while I was still feeling good. Peace, Jacques. Peace. Thank you. I'm gonna actually take them off probably, but anyway. So I'm supposed to be resting, and so all my students are going to yell at me because I'm supposed to be resting right now. Peace, Alex. But I want to come on here really quickly because I was having a conversation with a sister friend of mine, and it brought some realizations to me. So, your spiritual journey, right? So, generally speaking, the majority of us grew up in Christianity. I can't wait to hear about it, Ja. I can't wait to hear about your healing session. The majority of us grew up in Christianity or Islam. Traditionally in our society, that's the two main. I'm not gonna go back to bed. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be in bed anymore. I'm tired of bed. But I am taking it easy. I promise. I'm not doing any real work. But I wanted to come on here and just give this message real quick. So traditionally, we all grow up in Christianity or Islam, right? And throughout the course of our life, our parents are our main teachers. So the traditions that they practice are the same ones that we practice. So let's just say for the first 28 years of your life, it could have been more or less, you have been trained or programmed to follow a specific religious dogma or indoctrination. And so then all of a sudden one day you're like, yo, like this is not working for me. My spirit is not being fulfilled by this. I know that there's more out there. For me personally, I remember when The Matrix came out, and looking at The Matrix, I worked at a movie theater, so I saw it like 100 times in the movie theater. And I remember thinking, like, I know that there's something more. I want to know what the other stuff is. I'm determined. I was like probably 18. It took about 10 years before I actually realized, maybe about 9 years, but just for you, Conjure. It took about 9 years before I actually got into my spiritual journey, my spiritual walk, but I knew that there was something more. I remember going from church to church. I was in a relationship that my partner practiced Islam, just feeling like none of these things really related to me. I couldn't indulge in them fully. And so I was talking to a sister friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about how important it is to have a guide when you first come into your spiritual journey. The reason why I say this is because, and I know, like, if you know me, if you've seen my videos before, then you know, like, I have tons of books all around my room. I'm constantly studying. I'm constantly, like, that's just my thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Books actually help to confirm.
I just got some clothes.
Okay. Books actually help to confirm. Peace. Books actually help to confirm your journey, confirm the things you may be feeling, experiencing, thinking, etc. So there's nothing wrong with them. The issue that I have, though, is that when you start your spiritual journey, to rely on only books is only giving you half of the journey, because a lot of times the practical application you need a guide for is necessary. And so many times what I have found, I've been walking my path now for about 12 years. And what I have found are that the people who have guides are ones that are able to expand their spiritual experiences exponentially versus those people, peace cheerleader, versus those people who are just relying heavily on books or the internet or Google to expand themselves. Now, of course, when you're first beginning, it's definitely necessary to do as much research as possible. Carol says, always learning, growth is essential, and stagnancy is not sexy. I could agree. Peace, Shamika. So for me though, I was like, okay, when you first are starting out on your journey and you're reading, you're like, okay, but it still doesn't resonate. Or, you're Googling and it's like, okay, technically I understand what you're saying, but these things don't actually apply to me, or these things are not things that I'm experiencing. How do I get to the experiences? And so, that's why you're right, Shirlita. That's why I'm going live, because this is me taking it easy. You already know. And so, but really, so like, a lot of times what ends up happening is that you end up getting more frustrated or ends up in stagnant spaces because there's nobody to guide you and there's nobody to walk with you. For me, in my journey, within the last 12 years, I've had two phenomenal spiritual advisors, two phenomenal people who literally held my hand in my entire journey. And thank you, Mason. I appreciate you. Thank you for dropping in. I'm gonna get back to that. Yo. But so yeah, within the course of the last 12 years, I've had two main teachers. Now, I've had plenty of teachers over the years that have guided my life. I have a bachelor's degree in alternative medicine. I have 4 certifications in Reiki. I've had many different teachers over the course of the last 12 years, and each of them played an essential part in my development. However, I've had two main teachers that have been a part of my life for the majority of my transformation, and that of course is Conjure, who most of you know, and then the other person is a sister named Neb Hay too. And so for me, a lot of times, people go on what I call pilgrimages to find these spiritual teachers, but for me, I was lucky enough to have two people who are already fully engaged into this lifestyle in order for them to help me to gain the training or the initiation and to live in a more spiritualized life. And so while I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was, we were chatting, she was telling me about how the Etheric Touch has changed her life. And she was saying it's mostly because she felt like she had a guide. So she was able to come and she could talk about her spiritual experiences. She was guided, through understanding why self-care is essential. She was guided through why, speaking with your ancestors and having this communion with your ancestors is necessary. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate it, Shamika. Shamika says guidance is needed. You can't do this alone. You are becoming yourself, but just bouncing in is not healthy. You can become stagnant because you're confused. And it's the confusion part. Absolutely. It's the confusion part. It's like, how do you spend 20 plus years learning Christianity and then decide not to learn Christianity and think that you're going to understand spirituality just from books alone or Google alone or YouTube videos alone? Like, no, you need somebody who's you can call up or you can chat with and be like, look, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I see. This is what I feel. This is what whatever, or, I'm ready to tap into my gifts more. I'm ready to tap into my talents more. I'm ready to expand or grow in my spiritual gifts more. And so, thank you, Ja. Thank you. And so that's one of the reasons why, and understand there are many phenomenal teachers out here. Many phenomenal teachers. Just off the top of my head, I know Daisy October is a phenomenal teacher. Tasha Ariel is a phenomenal teacher. Tasha is a phenomenal teacher. There's so many more I can name. Shaman Hands is a phenomenal teacher. There's so many more teachers that I can name that are phenomenal teachers, and I consider myself one of them. Thank you very much, or whatever. Okay, but the point is that When you're first starting, hey Kat, when you first are starting your spiritual journey and you're first learning about what the universe is and what it can do and how you relate and who your ancestors are and how you can commune with them and interact with them even in the spiritual realm, like, it's important to have a guide for those things. It's important to have a guide for those things. And to me, that's what the etheric touch is for. It's for those people. Like, of course, we take vets, you know what I'm saying? Of course we take vets, we take all sorts of people, wherever you are on your journey, we take all sorts of people, but specifically for those that are just starting out. I feel like the etheric touch is one of the most beneficial programs that you can sign up for, because it's designed to take you step by step into your spiritual journey. We talk about meditation, we talk about sound harmonics, we talk about simple qigong, we talk about divination, we talk about communing with your ancestors. We help you to facilitate ceremonies, so now you don't have to depend on other people, but you can create your own ceremonies. Like, there's so many different aspects to the etheric touch. And then the things that we don't touch on in those in the 12-week program and the 3 levels of the etheric touch, then we have other people that are also teachers that are coming in. Peace, Ital. I'm finally doing the video we talked about the importance of guidance on your spiritual journey. So there's other people. So like, I have reached Datera. She's an amazing teacher as well, coming in to do her pendulum class. Again, Tasha's coming in to do her sensual movement class. There's just so many other people that are coming in to help to guide you on this spiritual journey. We have Ital does the raw vegan food, you know what I'm saying? There's so many people that are coming in specifically to help you, to guide you on this path, so you don't have to be out here walking alone, lost alone, confused, not knowing who to turn to, where to turn. But the issue is that you have to invest in it. You invested 20 years of your life into the church. If you went to church, then you know that they ask for you to give 10% tithes to the 10% of your pay to the church. Like, we already know that. But then when we come into spirituality, we expect that these people that we need to guide us to do these things for free. And there's a lot of energy that goes into this. A lot of energy. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of studying. There's a lot of research. There's so many things that go along with it. It's important for you to understand the importance of investing in yourself. When you are deciding to walk in a different path, and when you're deciding to to change your lifestyle, to transform your lifestyle, then it's important to have somebody who's already walked those steps, you know what I'm saying, to get you to at least to the point where they are, and then you can walk together with them. Personally, that's what I prefer. Like, I prefer to guide you until you can walk on your own, and then we can walk together, you know what I'm saying? It's not about anything other than that, but it does take an investment, and you do need to understand that you are worth the investment. You are worth the investment of your own self-care. Like, self-care means more than going to get your hair done and going to get your nails done. It's so much more than that. Speaking to the ancestors is so much more than just having their pictures up, you know what I'm saying, or a candle lit. It's so much more than that. Creating ceremony, there's a whole purpose behind ceremony. There's a whole purpose behind that in order to facilitate healing, and you need to understand those things. You need to understand them and allow these things to become a part of who you are, so then you are able to take somebody else and guide them as well. And so all in all, I don't even know how long I've been on here, y'all. I don't know, how long it's been. I just wanted to come on here real quick and just give that little synopsis. Like, I know for myself that I feel like I got an advanced course, crash session in spirituality because of the fact that I had guides with me to walk with me every step of the way. And any questions that I had, I didn't necessarily have to go to try to find confirmation in a book. And because we live in this virtual world now, we think we can Google everything. But the truth is, in indigenous times and indigenous cultures, a lot of the things that we learned was from oral tradition. It was from storytelling. And a lot of the mysteries get taken out of written word. There's no way to express some things. There's some things that you can only experience, but you cannot that cannot fully be expressed. It's something that happens within you. And the beautiful thing about that is that versus in religion, the beautiful thing about spirituality is that the experience is yours and yours alone. It doesn't matter if I believe you or not. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It doesn't matter, if it happened to you, it happened to you, and I can't take away from your experiences. What that ends up doing is increases your wisdom instead of your intelligence. Of course, we want to be intelligent too, but your wisdom, the things that the things that people cannot take away from you. Shamika said, okay, you're doing a class. When? Okay, get to the point already. I got you. So honestly, I wasn't really coming to advertise the class, but since you asked, the Etheric Touch is a 12-week program. It's 3 levels to the Etheric Touch. 1 is self-care, 2 is ancestral medicine, and 3 is ceremonial healing. The next class begins on February the 4th. There is a $120 deposit. The total amount of the course is $1,200. That can be broken down into payments. We do have payment plans. Books can take you where you want to be, but if you don't have a foundation already, then it's harder to participate in. It's harder to understand the concepts when you have nobody to actually guide you through those concepts. You know what I'm saying? So, it's definitely, I'm not saying not to have books. If you looked at my room, it's like a library in here. You know what I'm saying? We love books, but I also appreciate more people who are willing to invest their time and their energy in me to help me to grow into the fullness of my own personal power. And the Etheric Touch is what has been we have been able to create in order to do the same for you all. So I just wanted to come on here real quick and tell you the importance of having a guide. Where to begin? Honestly, the Etheric Touch is where you should begin. That's really what I feel, Sarah. I feel like the Etheric Touch is perfect for the beginning stages of your spiritual journey. Again, we speak about self-care, how to take care of yourself outside of getting your hair done, getting your nails done, things of that nature. We teach you about ancestral medicine. We how to commune with your ancestors, how to interact with your ancestors, how to interact with this universe. And then we talk about ceremonial healing, how to create your own ceremonies. Peace, Rish. We teach you how to be a practitioner. Thank you, Conjure. We teach you how to be a practitioner of spirituality, and it's foundational. It's foundational. Like, you can go off to anything else you want. I feel like I practice ATR. Right now I'm studying Ifa. So I think that ATRs are wonderful. However, if you don't have a foundation of understanding, then African spiritual traditions can start to feel like religion. It can start to feel like religion if you don't already have an understanding or a foundation in spirituality. So, yeah, that's really it. Hands-on is the best, you know what I'm saying? Or as hands-on as possible, The Etheric Touch is done virtually as well as in person. I do it virtually to be able to extend to people who do not live in the area. I live in North Carolina. So, thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. So we actually do it virtually in order to be able to extend it. The beautiful thing also about the Etheric Touch is that you are part of a community of people. As you can see, some of the students are here already. Kat says, then it comes with a whole gang of sisters who totally have your back, so you're never alone in your journey, right? I was getting to that, Kat. Sarah says, that's what I need, the ancestral and history. I've been in healing for 30 years, but I need more. Yes. Hey, Renee. Absolutely. So not only do you get the virtual online classes, but you are a part of a community of people who are also on this journey with you. And so you understand why I say virtually works, because I don't mind traveling. Like, let me just say that I do not mind traveling. I love to travel. However, it just makes things a lot more efficient. Hey, Sappho. It makes things a lot more efficient when I have students in California. I have students in Maryland. I have students in Washington. I have students in Florida and Atlanta. Like, it just makes things a lot more convenient. And then let me tell you about the community. So the community is full of these amazing people who are learning, are also on their healing journeys, are practitioners of the etheric touch. They come in and they support each other. They cackle, they giggle, they play, but they also speak about these experiences that are same to you, Sappho. Peace and love, sis. They also speak to each other about these experiences that are otherwise unbelievable to most people. It's really hard to express these things to most people. There's a study group so they can speak to each other. We speak to each other outside of just what happens on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, so unlimited resources are constantly being supplied in that group. So your spirit is constantly being fed with everything that you may need. And okay, Tanya, I know you're around here somewhere and you're gonna yell at me. And at this point in time, I'm also creating the workbook for the etheric touch. So then you actually have a guide to the guide to the guide. So yeah, I just want to come on and tell you, like, if you're beginning your spiritual journey, or even if you've been on it for a while. Some of my students have been on their journeys for a while. Some of them have was on it for like 20 years and left out of it and came back. Some people have, tried other things that didn't necessarily work well for them, and so they were able, were able to get something more from the etheric touch. Like, it's been really a phenomenal program that has helped people to really awaken to their own talents, gifts, and intuition. And so I really just want to come on and let you know why I feel like, if you're starting this path, or if you've been in this path, why it's important to invest in a guide to walk with you. So now my students let me talk long enough. I'm gonna listen to them because they take care of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and go back to resting. This was my work for today, so I won't overdo it, promise. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit me up if you're interested in the etheric touch. If you're interested in readings or even experiencing an etheric touch session, I will be back to work next week. I said next week, y'all. I did say next week. I didn't say today. I said next week. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I said that. Holler at me next week. I'll be more than happy to take you through a session. And until the next time, peace, people. I love you.